Welcome back. Let's talk about the worsening security situation in South Sudan and growing concern about election and political tension. And also we have a tragic migrant boat accident near Djibouti. Before we proceed with this top story, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell if you are new to Changfied YouTube channel. So when we upload a new video, you can be notified. Let's begin our report with South Sudan peace in danger. South Sudan has been trying to maintain peace since the 2018 peace agreement that ended a long and deadly civil war between Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar. But that today, that peace is under serious threat. According to this report, a group responsible for monitoring the ceasefire has raised an alarm. This group is called the Ceasefire and Transitional Security Arrangement Monitoring and Verification Mechanism, also known as CTSAM. The head of this group, Major General Teshome Anagawe Ayena, say the situation is getting worse. The situation is not getting better. According to Major General Teshome Anagawe, the head of this group, the head of CTSAM, is stated that there have been a repeated violation of the peace agreement in recent months. He warned that the agreement is now in real danger. Let's look at the recent violence in South Sudan. One of the most serious incidents happened on March 1, in a place called Abiemnom in the Reweng administrative area. According to the head of CTSAM, during this attack, civilians were killed, homes were burned, thousands of people were forced to leave their home. Even local leaders were among those who died. A team is expected to visit the area in April to investigate what really happened. Another major conflict happened in Akubo early March. Government force launched an operation to take control of the town. This led to heavy fighting in the area. Because of this, many people fled their home. They fled their home and they fled to the border of Ethiopia and South Sudan. Some report said up to 200,000 people escaped toward Ethiopia. And humanitarian aid operations were disrupted in this incident. This means people who needed food, water, and medical help could not receive support. Major General Ayena clearly say that fighting over land is not the solution, because it is like SSPDF, they are trying to fight over land or taking over the area controlled by the SPLIO, and this area are inhabited by the newer people. And the head of CTSAM urged all sides to follow peaceful methods that are already part of the agreement. Another worrying development is a new agreement between the two army groups. A faction of SPLIO led by Oyen Nathaniel and the National Salvation Front led by General Thomas Cirillo. This group agreed to work together politically and militarily. But Peace Monitor or CTSAM say this is dangerous. They believe this alliance goes against the agreement, goes against the peace agreement, and could increase instability. They are now calling for this agreement to be cancelled. But why? Anyway, more information will come later. There's also another problem, funding problem, that affect monitoring the CDSAM. There's another serious issue, lacking of funding because of limited financial support. CDSAM has closed 3 monitoring sites. Only a few locations remain active. That is why we say earlier, CDSAM are condemning SPLA-IO and this National Salvation Front led by General Thomas Cirillo for having a unity or uniting the military together. But when SSPDF attack SPLA-IO or attack the National Salvation Front led by General Thomas Cirillo, CDSAM did not condemn it. So that's why they say that here CDSAM has closed 3 monitoring sites, so they do not report. Only a few locations remain active, like this place that they mentioned, Abiumnam and also Akobo. This makes it harder to track violation across the country. Well, peace monitors are also facing challenges on the ground. In one cases, soldiers stop and monitoring team. The soldiers stop monitoring team near Juba when they try to go out, to monitor all the things that are happening inside South Sudan. They are being stopped. The team was not allowed to continue its mission. We mean that whenever the government or SSPDF attack this group in the bush, the peace monitoring are not allowed to go and assess the situation, because this is where they can bring accurate information who violate the peace agreement. This is considered a violation of the peace agreement, which guarantee freedom of movement, because they do not have to stop the citizen to move and monitor the situation. Another planned mission is Jonglei. Jonglei had to be cancelled due to security risk, according to them. Leaders from opposition group are now calling for a renewed dialogue. They are urging all parties, even those who did not sign the agreement, to choose peace. Let's remember, the civil war in South Sudan lasted 5 years, and it caused around 400,000 people who died during the civil war. Millions of displaced people are now living outside South Sudan. Although a unity government was formed, many key reforms have not been completed. Today, violence continues in different areas. Trust between leaders remains low, and the peace process is weakening. Now, let's move to the political situation in South Sudan. A senior official from Norway has raised serious concern. The Norwegian Ministry for International Development, Asmund Akras, recently visited the country. He spoke to journalists in Juba and shared his concern. He said South Sudan is facing a political crisis. According to him, only open and inclusive dialogue can solve the problem. All groups must be included in discussion. South Sudan is expected to hold election later this year, but there are many doubts. Key preparations are still incomplete, especially security arrangement. Without proper security, election may not be free. People may not feel safe voting. One major political figure, Dr. Rimachar, the leader of SPLA-IO, is currently under house arrest. He has been detained since March 26, 2025, and is facing serious charges. His situation raises more questions about fairness and political freedom in the country. When asked if the election would be fair, the Norwegian minister did not give a direct answer. He said it is the responsibility of South Sudan government to ensure fair elections. During his visit, the minister also traveled to Reng a town near the Sudan border in Apenal. This area is facing a huge humanitarian crisis because of the war in Sudan. Around 900,000 people have arrived in the area. These include refugees and returnees. Local authorities are struggling to manage the situation. The minister described the situation as very serious. He said the conflict is not just about politics, it is about human suffering. People losing their homes, people are facing hunger, and living in difficult conditions. The war in Sudan is also affecting South Sudan. It is increasing pressure on resources, aid services, and local communities. So, Norway, it will continue to provide humanitarian aid according to them. However, it will not interfere in South Sudan's situation or in South Sudan elections. The minister emphasized that the responsibility for peace lies with South Sudan leader. He also warned that the country cannot afford more instability. Attack on civilian and aid workers must stop. And humanitarian group must be allowed to operate safely. Now let us move to another tragedy in Djibouti. Let's turn to this tragic story from Djibouti. A boat carrying migrants sank near the northern town of Obok. The incident happened overnight on March 24, 2026. According to report, around 320 people were on the boat. At least 9 people have died. 45 others are still missing. Search and rescue operations are ongoing. Most of the people on board were Ethiopian migrants. They were traveling along what is known as the Eastern Route. This route goes from the Horn of Africa across the Red Sea and toward Yemen and Gulf countries. Many migrants are searching for better opportunities, even South Sudanese. They are often escaping poverty, unemployment, conflict. Even though the journey is very dangerous, many still attempt it every year. This route is one of the most dangerous migration paths in the world. Migrants face overcrowded boats, bad weather, lack of food and water, and risk of drowning. Despite the danger, the number of people taking this route continue to increase. This shows how desperate many people are for a better life. In conclusion, as we come to the end of today's report, we can see a common theme across all these stories. That is instability, struggle, and human suffering. In South Sudan, peace is fragile. Violence is rising. In politics, election remain uncertain. Trust between leaders is weak. You can see people are risking their life for survival, leaving their own countries, moving out of their own country because of situation they are facing, searching for a better life. But if these leaders around Africa work together, if they have common goal to better the life of their people, all this suffering can stop. Well, if you are new here to Changfied YouTube channel, please I would like you to help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video you can be notified. Thank you for watching. Let's meet on the next report.